Yes, new set photos for Superman. I can't wait. Oh, the cape's awesome. Oh, look at that, Mr. Terrific. Oh, what? Oh, man, you gotta be kidding me. The chonies? Oh, Gunn, what are you doing? Wait a minute. It does break up the blue. Wait a minute. I can't not look.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
What the?
Shall we?
All right, guys, we are back. Can you believe it? DC Watch. Yeah. Show those Superman muscles, guys. Come on, let's go.
The beach is that way.
Because Superman is almost back. Almost back. So let's take a watch. We're here with the DC Watch guys. I have Dave right above me. How you doing, Dave?
Hey, I'm doing great. Awesome to see you guys.
Diagonally, I've got Chris. Chris, how you doing, my friend?
It took Superman to get us all back together, so that's some great power.
Because we're all
Yes.
super. That's
Yeah,
why. Jeez.
no
Come on,
doubt.
Chris, you know that. And finally, the one, the only, pretty fly for a Filipino guy. Lenny, how are you tonight?
Pretty good, sir. I am super fly.
For a Filipino guy. So the movie's not out, right? But we thought, let's get together. We've seen all these trailers. We've seen a lot of toys. There's been a lot of chatter online about this. And our thought was, we don't care what those people say. We care what we say. So we thought we'd get together and just kind of shoot the breeze a little bit about what we think about the upcoming movie, what our feelings are, and a couple of other things that might pop into our mind for the next 10 or 15 minutes. All right. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah,
Sounds great.
Why don't we talk about the man, David Cornsweat? What do you guys think of him? Oh, Joe. Joe.
Honestly, when he started, when they named him, I'm saying, who the hell is this guy? How tall is he? I was looking at all this stuff. Can he really fit the Superman thing? But I have to tell you, he's pretty cool. You know?
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of got it down. He's got a Superman that's somewhere near Chris Reed, but not quite. But he's closer to Chris Reed than he is to the Zack Snyderverse. I mean, so he's somewhere in the middle, but closer to a Chris Reed type. You can see he can joke around.
Quit messing around.
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
He could be serious about things, but he's got this kind of anger thing too a little bit.
Where's the dog?
Which I think is good. I don't know what you guys think.
He's very human in the role, from what I've seen.
What can be more a Kansas name than Cornsweat?
Corn store.
Right? Like when you listen to this guy on the interview circuit, he sounds like Superman.
Somebody's got to play this part. And if you're the person to play it and you give up everything else to do it, it would be worth doing.
I have to disagree with you, Joe. He looks a lot like Henry Cavill. Like the first time I've seen him, I was like,
He looks like him, but I'm talking about the acting.
Cavill wasn't given the material to show that side of Superman.
Here he is, the Zack Snyder apologist, starting off right away.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think?
Well,
Chris, what do you think about Cornsweat?
I'm digging all the little Instagram stories that they're doing here lately with the cast. I mean, it's humorous. It's down to earth. I mean, I love how sometimes they're staying in character. You know, I'm high hopes. You know, because we're all DC guys and Superman he's the pillar. We're due like a huge win, and a lot of folks, Snyder people, of course, are trying to destroy the movie.
Destroy is such a strong word, Chris.
Well,
Obliterate.
yeah,
Obliterate is more like it.
they're trying to put kryptonite to the movie already.
Chris, something you said, down to earth. This Superman seems like possibly, and I love Reeve Superman. That's my Superman. You know, I was a kid. This might be the most down to earth version I've seen on the big screen. And again, I haven't seen this movie yet. I haven't seen the scenes yet, but the vibe is very down to earth. You get it from the interviews, you get it from the clips, and that's you know, I'm looking forward to checking that out and seeing how that plays.
You know, Dave, and there's one scene which you may or not seen, Dave. You know, since you're not watching all this stuff.
Go ahead and spoil it for me, Joe.
No, well,
Spoiler
this is
alert.
important because
Clark Kent is Superman.
the one thing that I think we agree on to a certain extent, Dave, is that they don't usually write Superman or play Superman, other than Chris Reeve, play Superman the way that they should. And the key to me always, you know, and I had arguments with people about this, even professional writers about this, is that the key to a good Superman story is primarily Clark Kent. And when I say that, people say, what are you talking about? But what I mean is his humanity.
I get scared, but that is being human, and that's my greatest strength.
When I heard that, I'm getting chills on that now. When I heard that, I said, yes, that's the answer, for Pete's sakes. And I think that's what Gunn is looking at, and that's what Gunn is trying to accomplish.
That's his core. He's a good human being. He's got superpowers. He's just trying to help, you know, and that's why he can be so inspirational for all of us without powers. Just use our gifts to try and make the world a better place. That's what he's doing. His gifts are just incredible. So.
And then in comes Snyder and goes, let's test that. Goodness.
This breaks some necks.
Yes.
Oh boy.
No, but one thing I actually wanted to jump in is I think a lot of times they do, even Snyder, they show Clark Superman as a good person. It's a little more than that. There's a kindness that Superman has, and you want that to come out, and I don't think it always does in some of these portrayals.
Right.
I think that's an element of it, that he's kind.
Right.
Speaking of Clark, the one thing that stuck out to me in the trailer is when Lois wanted to interview him, and he went from Clark to Superman in a snap.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
And I thought, I was like, wow, that was
pretty cool.
so good.
Yeah.
And then him being so passionate, you know, it's in his mind, you know, I stopped the war, you know, I done this. Just love the acting right there. And that's, you know, that's just a little glimpse that we got to saw.
And that was reminiscent of Chris Reed when he's ready to takes off his glasses, ready to tell Lois he's Superman. And then he decides not to, and he becomes Clark.
Puts him back on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, Chris, do you think Gunn is the right director for this? Do you think he's taking the right approach?
I hope so. I'm a big fan of Gunn. I like, you know, what he did with the Guardians. Not a huge fan of them before I ever saw the movies, and I'm like, wow, you know, now he's helming the DC universe, and sky's the limit.
Yeah, I just think Gunn has this big picture of Superman, pretty much Chris Reeve, you know, and kind of sees that as the way that it needs to go. Not that he's discounting the other stuff, but I think he sees that as kind of the basics that needs to be what his movie kind of builds on. I mean, that's just the way I kind of see it.
I was sold on Gunn when his thesis for the movie was telling a story about someone who's good in a world that doesn't value goodness. So when he said that from the get-go, it's like, despite, you know, I don't share his sensibilities and all that, I'm willing to see the movie with great excitement because of that, because of his thesis, his theme.
Two things important to me about this film. One is that they play Superman correctly. Number one. Actually, three things. Number two, I love Lois Lane so far in this stuff. My third is that It is a super duper Silver Age film.
Oh man.
Yeah, look at Lenny. Come on. Yeah,
Oh,
Lenny,
man.
it's a $1 billion film if it's Silver Age.
All right, all right. I hope you guys enjoy Superman, little Superman coming out of his fingers. I hope you guys enjoy Superman sneezing galaxies away. Yeah, that's Silver Age.
There it is. Superman's mystery power.
In the Silver Age, Superman's the reason Lex is bald. Superboy is the reason Lex is bald. You know, it's kind of silly. Like, he blows some chemicals and they take out his hair, so then Lex Luthor vows revenge and hates Superman. Well, Smallville, they had the meteor crash harm a young child, Lex Luthor, and he lost his hair subsequently because of that accident. So they took that concept and they modernized it. And I'm okay with that stuff in this film. If you take some of those Silver Age concepts and modernize them, they might work.
And
we'll see.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
of course.
I'm not talking about shooting rainbows out of your fingers.
No, not the silly, not the super silly.
Since you
stuff.
brought up Lex, I'm hoping this is a good version that we get to see of Lex, because you know can't have one without the other, and
Sure.
you
Yes.
need to have a good Lex in a story with Superman.
We haven't really dug into Rachel Brosnahan as Lois, and I think she might set the bar. I don't know.
That's what I was
Yeah.
hoping for.
Spectacular and marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and you know
She looks fantastic.
What do you guys think of the Justice Gang that's going to be in Superman? Is that not what they said their name's going to
Yeah,
be?
well, based on the toy commercial.
Call in the Justice Gang. Get him, Green Lantern.
I would like to see the live version of Guy Gardner, just Justice
Nathan
Gang.
Fillion, as we get more Nathan Fillion.
Especially, I not to spoil it, Dave.
Yeah.
I did see a little excerpt where Lois Lane was actually making fun of his hair.
Oh, I did see
like-
that too.
You saw that one? Oh, okay,
I
okay.
very briefly, yeah.
A question for you guys: what do you think? Because they're saying that the movie superheroes already exist. So how do you
Yes.
think the audience is going to take to? You're dropping right into a Superman story, and there's a whole lot that is left unsaid with his Superman universe. Now has all these superheroes in it. How do you think the audience is going to adapt to that, or like or dislike it?
Chris, I think it depends on how he introduces them and the parts that they have. If it supplements what's going on, I don't think there needs to be much of an explanation. People might wonder why or whatever the story is, but if they fit into the story, which is certainly Superman, Lois, and Lex centric, then I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, and you're talking about a guy who handled the Guardians. You didn't really have to explain who Groot was.
I'm gonna look back at my own past as a kid reading comic books. There are times I had comic books that were sort of in the middle of storylines or had other characters, that I just wasn't familiar with. And at first it feels a little odd, and then you just keep reading and you're used to it and you take it for granted, and it's just the world you're in. And I think that'll probably be the case with this film.
I think it's great that at first I was like, it's going to be another Black Adam where, the main hero is not going to stand out. But I think if you look at it from the perspective of where we are in this culture, in this world, or what have you, I think it's really a fascinating display of this Superman where he's not very special. Everyone has powers in this world. What's going to set him apart?
Question for you guys before we wrap this up. Are you happy with the trunks? Were you hoping for the trunks?
The chonies?
I'm all in on Trunks.
Yeah, trunks, baby.
Yeah.
I
Ooh.
guess I would be a trunk guy as well.
All right. Pretty Fly
That's
won't
two.
be. Lenny is a no. I know that.
All right. Before. Okay, hold on.
So
Hold
this is
on,
what I
hold
want
on.
to say.
Hold on. Okay.
All right.
You're not going to drop his trunks, are you?
No, I'm just saying.
He's got trunks
so
and
much
no
better
trunks.
on the right side.
Yeah. You guys are
Breaks
trunks.
up all
Okay.
the blue. The red trunks break up the blue. So my concept of the trunks, people point out that it's sort of an old-timey wrestler look. And like, what you've got to understand is most people who associate that, make that association, they're either much older or they're gone. Like, it is not a wrestler look anymore. It is a Superman / superhero look. He came out in 1938. Like, so people who are making that association, I'm like, no. That's, I don't want to call it iconic because everything gets called iconic, but it's an element. It's of Superman, of superheroes. So to see it, it doesn't look strange to me. It doesn't look silly to me. It doesn't look like somebody wearing their underwear on the outside. It looks like Superman.
Right, though. It's kind of morphed into, to me, Superman and other superheroes potentially as well.
Do y'all want to give our guesses for what we think the box office draw for this will be?
Oh, yes, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You're not going to guess that. How did you guess that, Chris?
It has to beat Man of Steel, though, right? If it doesn't beat Man of Steel, the reign of the Snyder cult's gonna be upon all James Gunn and the DC.
Will be insufferable.
Oh my goodness!
To quote Russell Crowe in Gladiator, "At my signal, unleash hell."
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I got my tickets for the pre-showing on July 8th, right? I bought. It's a big, IMAX theater, just over the border in Connecticut. When I bought it, there were literally 10 seats that were bought before ours, including this guy that got the 2 seats I always like. So I had to pick another row. But I went back about a week and a half ago, and the only seats available are in the first 2 rows.
Which nobody bought. Yeah. So it's basically sold out.
So as a practical matter, I don't know if that means anything, but I think it bodes well.
James Gunn is aiming for this movie to be 4-quadrant draw. So I can imagine kids at the very last minute are going to drag their parents to walk up to the ticket booth, not pre-order, and buy tickets. So I think there's going to be a big swell, even though you may not think there's a lot based on pre-sale tickets. I bet you it's going to explode, especially if the reviews are great.
And right now, the people that have seen it, generally the reviews have been very good.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Except for people that say the Snyder is better. The only people bashing it are the Snyder purists.
Lenny. But and in fairness, though, too, a lot of those reviews are people who are like Superman positive influencers, and like, come see it. And I'm not saying they're not correct in their reviews, but some of these people might be a little predisposed to cheering on the guys. If they invited us out to an early screening,
as we are, Dave.
Boy.
Amazing,
as we are.
So
more neck snapping.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for showing up to watch the DC Watch Guys. Dave, smart, consistent as usual. Chris, pure DC. Lenny, he's got to bring Zack Snyder in, but we love you anyway, Lenny. And remember, it's Trunks, Lenny. It's Trunks. And I'm Joe, and this is Anachronic Comics, and we'll be back after the movie, so don't miss that one also. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Ooh, the new Superman trailer is out. Oh, I hope to God it's good. I hope it's good.
Hit it.
Superman's better than everyone.
No, please.
No one's as good as Krypton's last son. Marvel stinks when compared to him.
Hey!
The ladies love to stare at him.
Yes, they do.
Cool.